Morena Fano, welcome to Gardening on the Kaipara. My name's Howard. It's May and I'm pleased to say that the storms of last month have pretty much passed. We've had a couple of blowy days, but nothing like last month. One of the things I want to get done this month is to get the beds as full as possible, and as part of that I get to have one of the best days of the year, which is when I plant the garlic. Yeah, I find it really one of those optimistic things, looking forward to the next warm summer season. Currently it's sitting in the fridge. It's been there for a couple of weeks. I understand that it needs to get really cold so that it splits, and we don't get those kind of temperatures here. So I pop it in there for a couple of weeks just to be on the safe side. On top of that, I want to get a second lot of broad beans in and a third lot of peas, and then a whole load of gaps to fill in. One of the problems though is I'm having a bit of an existential crisis at the moment. I can't seem to be able to get seeds going at all, and I don't know what that's about. I don't know if it's the compost or it's too hot or too cold or overwatered. I'm going to do a bit of a science experiment, if you will. I'm going to plant the same seeds. I'm going to plant them in here on the top. I'm going to do a second lot on the wire racks to see if I'm overwatering. I'm also going to do some in the shed where it's not as warm and a bit darker, just to see if that makes a difference. And I'll see how they go, because at the moment I just don't seem to be getting any results. The seeds that you saw me planting last month, I've got some parsley come up and 2 broccoli, and that's it. Nothing else has come up. Yes, a bit disappointed by that, and means that I had to go out and buy a few plug plants, which were some celery and some spinach, which I've popped in. And the other thing that I've got is that I understand that my neighbour, my lovely neighbour Jenny, might be popping down with some horse manure, which means I need to empty one of the compost bins. I think it's about ready. Been in there for a good few months. The only thing is I don't know whether it's worked or not. I've not really used this 3-bin system before, and so we'll find out whether I'm going to get some good lovely compost or a big stinky wet mushy mess. Fingers crossed. Okay, so can't sit here chatting all day, better get on with it. Okay, so we've got all this lovely compost. I can't tell you how pleased I am with it. It's really good. I know some people sieve it, but it seems like a bit much to me. But I'm really pleased with how it's come up. So I'm going to pop in some broad beans, just direct sowing them. Just put 3 across here. I want to leave a bit of a strip along the back there because I want to put some dahlias in there. I wasn't very happy with the dahlias last year, so I want to invest in some good quality ones. There we go. So I just water them in. Hopefully they'll take off. Okay, and the next job is to get the bok choy in. Bok choy, pak choy, not quite sure which. Now these got heavily slugged as very young seedlings, and I've pretty much given up on them. However, they've bounced back, which is just as well, because my other ones are just about going to seed over there. I don't know if you can see this. So this is soil was topped up with the topsoil, which was really good in terms of giving the soil some body, but it also was pretty sterile stuff. Having been underground for a good 10 years plus, I would say. So it needs to have a bit of good organic matter mixed into it just to break it up a little bit and give it some nutrition. So I popped some oldish compost on here the other day. Just lightly tilling it in. Okay, there we go. Let's get these in then. These will be glad to get out these pots. There you go. It's good. Bit of water. Nice. Okay, job done. Okay, so next on the list, peas. Green Feast, these ones.
What? It like it must just cook like a hard omelette.
Yeah. Okay, so here we go with the garlic. I've got 50 cloves here, saved from last year. And I just got to work out how I want to do that. The most obvious thing is to do 30 this side, 25 on this side. Three, 6, 9, 10. 3, 6, 9, 10. There we go. The last year I was checking, I planted 45, and I think that's plenty to see me through the year. So assuming that we get a few duds by doing 50, I reckon I should be good. And what I did was I basically saved the biggest bulbs for the seed this year, so these cloves are actually a lot better than the ones that I did last year where I didn't do that. And so my hope is that consequently the crop will also be noticeably better. And now for the other side. So this bed has had a bag of compost on it, but not the compost out of the compost bin. So hopefully it's got some fertility in it. Yeah, you always help me plant the garlic. You always help me plant the garlic. You did last year, and you've done it this year too. Hello. Well, I'm just thinking I probably should just put a little bit of protection on this bed whilst these come through, otherwise it's going to get dug up. Garlic is officially underway. So there we go, Fano. At the end of May. It's a beautiful winter's day here today, and I'll give you a quick plot tour. Obviously, with the winter coming on, we've got some big jobs happening, and actually we've got the first big job done. I just move like this. On the roof there, we've got solar panels. So this is something we've been wanting to do for a long time. We were hoping to go completely off grid, but the cost of a generator was actually too much. But at the start of this month, we got the solar panels in. We've got 16 panels here. They are 460 watt panels, and I'll show you the battery inverter in the garage later. The guys came and they put it in a single day, which was fantastic. They got here at 9 o'clock in the morning, and then they were done by 6 o'clock. The inspector was here at 6:15, and we were good to go by 20 past 6. It was fantastic. So we are just on the verge of getting our first bill, which we reckon will be about $100, and that compares to the $310 I think it was the previous month. So big saving there. Bearing in mind that the battery itself had to get itself set up, so it was charging off the grid, and it's only a few weeks away from the shortest day. So we're hoping that as we extend into summer, we'll really start to make some really good savings and perhaps even get a bit in the bank to offset winter charges. Overall, we're really happy with it. Okay, so just a quick look at the Tesla battery in the garage here. So this is the latest battery. It's only been out a couple of months, I think. 13.5 kilowatt hour storage with the inverter already inside. I thought this would take up a lot more space than it actually does. It fits very neatly against the wall. It's not very wide at all, and yeah, doesn't make any kind of obstacle in the garage at all. Just sits very nicely. There was a panel that also went in between the power boxes here. It was almost as if it was made for it. But that was it. That's the whole of the workings, if you will, of the whole system. So just the two boxes and the cells on the top. So it really doesn't intrude at all into any of the space that we've got. Also gives out a little bit of heat actually, so it's quite good for drying washing when you're near it. But there we go. So yeah, really pleased with how it's gone in, really pleased with how quickly it went in, and the savings that we're already making. So that's the first big job. Now let's take you around the garden and see what else is happening. Okay, first things first, not very exciting, but looking at the 3-bin system, I was so pleased with the way that the compost has come out. And you might have been confused why I was taking the compost out of the middle bin, but it was that these 2 bins were the original bins, and the third popped on later. So actually the 1, 2, 3 system wasn't quite set, but it is now. So this is the first bin here, which is current. The next bin is those that you saw turned out, and this third bin will be the one that should be ready, I reckon, for spring. See that? Looking pretty good. Gosh, it really is a beautiful day today. Just stunning. Anyway, swinging round and coming to these top beds. In here, spinach on the left hand side, radish that we're picking really well now, and celery, and some lettuce. Lettuce is just beginning to go to seed. I'm thinking I'm going to leave a couple of the lettuce to see if they'll self-seed, just as an experiment really. And the carrot bed beyond, I'm picking carrots from here now. They're a reasonable size in some ways. They're not a very long carrot at the moment, and that might just be that it needs some more soil in there. But overall, they're really sweet and tasty, which we really like. Moving down, the strawberry beds. Strawberries themselves are looking really healthy, and they're still giving out the odd one. The odd is a bit odd. Sadly though, I've not seen any runners coming off, and I really wanted to get some to increase the number of strawberries we had. But I had a chat with my lovely friend Katie, and I'm hoping that we will be able to offset that with some runners from hers. Be good. The asparagus bed now cleared and topped up with homemade compost. Gosh, it looks so good. And you can see a rogue asparagus has sprouted, so that's okay. And then beyond that, the broad beans really beginning to thicken up now. I'll need to get some supports into these soon, as I expect to get some wind coming in soon to the next set of beds. And these are the Savoy cabbage. Can you see them? They're all beginning to hearten up. And the second lot are also doing really well behind. This looks absolutely exceptional as a bed here at the moment. Really pleased with how this is coming along. Down the edges, the beetroot, some of it doing better than the rest. And I don't know if you remember, but I planted some carrot seed down the bottom end there, which didn't take. So I put a second sowing in. I think you can just see it coming in just around here. Second onion bed, really looking nice. They took a while to get established, but I think you can see that they're all looking really healthy now. Down the edges, coriander and a few marigolds just to brighten the place up. Tomatoes. These are the ones that got damaged in the wind last month. You can see they've all thickened up now. What I'm finding is that the wind is tending to blow off these wheat cherries before they're ready. But I'm hoping what it will do is just keep going and give me some at the start of the season. My plan for this year is to actually start my tomatoes a bit later in the hope of trying to avoid the blight that got everything. It's a cunning plan. I've been thinking about it for a few days. However, as you can see, we are getting some brightening up. Those are the yellow ones. So hopefully they'll be nice. And then the other onion bed. And now the top bed. And this is the broccoli. Got a bit battered in the wind that we had a couple of weeks ago, but actually still looking pretty firm. And just behind it, I've got some cauliflowers. Just see them there. And again down either side, beetroot that established on the first sowing, which did really well. And I put in second sowing of carrot again on the top, and this time that's germinated. Don't ask me why it didn't germinate the first time. Who understands these things? Moving down, Monge 2. You can see that's really shot up over the last month. Good. Coriander down the side. And then beetroot. This beetroot has done really well. Probably coming a bit to the end. But the peas, I don't know if you can see this. It is absolutely laden with pods. And that's not even the good side. So that just absolutely covered in pods. Very exciting. And in front of them, leeks. And again, they took a little while to get going, but they seem to be putting on a bit of growth now. Moving to the long bed, we've just got some marigolds and rosemary in the edge here, and then second lot of broad beans. And these took a while to actually come through, making me think that they'd failed or rotted away. But actually they've come through now. Looks like we've had one move out of line, as things do in this particular garden. Little things get dug up. And down this end, nice selection of salad coming along. Moving to the other long bed, the bed of shame, half cleared now. We've had one picking off the rhubarb, which was absolutely fantastic. And as you can see, the one that I split off has established itself and is doing quite nicely too. My plan here is to have the side nearest the greenhouse be the beans next year. Working on a plan for that as well. And so into the polytunnel, which is looking spectacularly good. My plan for winter tomatoes looks like it is working, because if we go down here to that, and lots of fruit coming on all of these. So all looking spectacularly exciting. So on the other side, basil is working well. And what we have here, lavender cuttings. We've taken about 100 lavender heel cuttings, and we've got some here and some in the house in soil and some in water, and we're hoping to at least get 20. If we can get 20 out of the 100, we're going to be happy. I'll show you what they're going to be for in a minute. Parsley and 2 broccoli, otherwise nothing else coming up. So there we go, on this beautiful winter's morning, looking very nice. I'm really pleased with the way that the veggie garden's looking at the moment. Feels like it's got a lot of things growing in it, and it's going to be very productive in the winter. Okay, so this is one of the other winter jobs. This is a new bed that we're putting in at the front of the house, and this is essentially going to mirror the other one with lavender, hence why we're taking all the cuttings, and the standard roses. So it will just mirror the bed we've got outside the garage. Hoping that will just really give some balance to the house, make it look really nice. Front bed itself is looking a bit untidy at the moment. It's just about time to trim down the lavender, which keeps it bushy rather than going all straggly. So that will happen in the next couple of weeks. We are still getting a couple of wee roses coming through. Give a little joy in the middle of winter, but otherwise looking a bit tired. Freesias there coming through, so hopefully they'll be flowering soon. One of my favourite flowers. Anyway, let's go down to the orchard. Okay, just having a look all over the orchard as a general. Most of the trees are without leaves now, except the apple trees and the plum, and they're getting a bit mixed up about what's going on. They were trying to flower before, and so hopefully that's not going to affect them when true spring comes along. But otherwise everything's settling down for the winter, and I will be doing a bit of pruning in there probably over the next month, just to try and maybe shape the trees a little bit. Probably see the ground there is quite wet. We've had some pretty heavy rain, and really pleased that we actually moved the chickens up a little bit, just so they've got a bit dry ground there. They're looking expectant there. They think I'm going to feed them with something. And here's the next big project, and this area we're going to make into a little bit of a private seating area. So we've just had this fence put in here. This was the fencing that we got from our old neighbours down in Auckland, who very kindly gave it to us. So we've had that set up just to act as a bit of a windbreak privacy screen, and we're going to put some raised beds down this edge and put pebbles all over this area so we can have table and chairs out here. So there we go, whānau. That's the end of May. Please join me again in June, where we can see all the progress that gets made. Hopefully it will continue to be like this. In the meantime though, take care, haere rā, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.